So sneakerheads, can we tell what year this photograph was taken just by looking at the image, which we're taking a look here at NFL quarterback Geno Smith flipped up with rapper Young Miami. Apparently this was back in their high school days as both of them attended Miramar High. Now this image has been going viral on Twitter with over 2.6 million views. And when you take a look at the comment section, somebody posted right here talking about she got Mexican Jordans on. Shot, which is absolutely hilarious when you take a look at both of them are wearing on feet. Geno Smith, he's rocking a pair of Air Force Ones, which is a timeless classic. But rapper Young Miami, she's got on a pair of Bread Jordan 6 rings, to which she actually responded to this image talking about y'all calling 6 rings in 2008 Mexican Jordans just to show y'all still don't and never had no swag. Now, when you talk about Jordan 6 rings and when people talk about a pair of sneakers being Mexican Jordans, they're essentially talking about they're not valid. But if we take things back to when this actually photograph was taken in 2008, I would actually have to disagree and say that 6 rings were actually valid. You see, this was a time when Jordan Brand wasn't dropping a whole bunch of retros like we see nowadays. I think even back in that year specifically, they were dropping those various countdown packs. And it wasn't until a couple of years later where we started to see this massive output of Jordan retros. So at the time we had these different fusions, which come from like the Team Jordan line. The 6 rings were actually a combination of various Jordans, which MJ rocked during his championship title year. So that would have included the Jordan 6s, 7s, 8s. You see some of those elements infused here into this sneaker, as well as the 11s, 12s, 13s, and then you cannot forget the Jordan 14. So when it comes to this one, I think the main highlight of this would be like the patent leather that you guys see present on the upper, as well as the sole from the Jordan 13. So 6 rings weren't bad, especially I think this debut colorway did happen to be the Bread, and they also did drop some other classic colors, and then as well as some really trash ones as well. But if we take things even further back, the year prior, we did see Jordan Brand dropping a bunch of these various Jordan Fusions, which would combine the upper of your whatever Jordan model infused with the sole of an Air Force One. So as you guys see it clearly right here, you got the Jordan 5 Fusions, the Jordan 12 Fusions. They weren't bad. We had the 6s. I'm guessing every model made a, appearance here. The 5s, even 5 lows, 8s. So pretty much you name it. Jordan 6 Fusions were out there back then. I didn't even remember those. So I think for me, the most memorable ones were like the 12s. Definitely remember people rocking the 5 Fusions, but they were okay. They were whatever, a sign of the time. If we take things back even further, y'all remember when they dropped the Spiz'ikes, which essentially you're combining Spike Lee with Mike. He was a big part of Jordan Brand, especially in the early years, Do the Right Thing, the early Michael Jordan, Jordan Brand, like commercial promos, you know what I'm saying? So again, this is a fusion of various Jordans. When you take a look at the Spiz'ikes, we see the 3 in there, you see the 5, you got the wings from the 4s, the tongue from the 6. So a bunch of Jordans combined together. This OG colorway, I'm not even gonna lie, I remember these being hot when they originally dropped. I think there was also a black version as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then since then, they've dropped various versions of the Spiz'ikes. They've even brought them back. They even dropped a low top version as well. So the Spikes, they definitely had their moment. And Spike Lee, he continues to be a Jordan Brand ambassador, even rocking his mics till this day. And then if we take things back even further, how many of y'all remember the Dub Zeros, which I think debuted, I wanna say like 05, 06. I remember when these dropped, I always wanted a pair, but never was able to grab a pair. You see, when it comes to like my sneakers back then, I had to be real selective. I didn't have the funds to be able to just buy a big collection like that. So rather than buying something like a pair of Dub Zeros, I remember just sticking to like the mainline retros or like a pair of Air Force Ones, like black Air Force Ones, something like that. But these were cool. Again, another fusion. You see the patent leather from the 11s. You got this back heel tab from the 6s, the tongue of the 12s, sole of the Jordan 4s. So we see a bunch of elements in here. And then let's not forget the laser print, which was a big thing as far as Jordans that year. I think that's the year we saw them Jordan 4 lasers, the 20s, around that time. So these were definitely a dope moment, a cool sneaker. And the ones that really set it all off, the Team Jordan 1s, which during MJ's time when he was playing, I think it was like 97, Jordan Brand expanded to create its own brand. They had a roster of NBA talent. And this was the very first Team Jordan 1s, which I remember as a kid actually having these, loved these to death. And I feel like even nowadays, these still age well. They've do retro these from time to time. So you do see some design elements that were present from those Jordan retros at the time. So you see the little 13, you see this from the 12s. These were actually really dope, man, when they dropped. After that, you know, we started to see the Team Jordan line expand with Jordan Brand, and I can't really tell you where things went wrong with Jordan Brand, but that first pair, to me, still dope, man. I feel like these are still a classic. And then, you know, later on, we got the Dub Zeros, you got the Spiz'ikes, the Fusions, and then the 6 ring. So when people talk about like Mexican mics, you know, what they're really referring to is like, let's go ahead and take a look at Nike right here. So of course, you know, the mainline Jordans are gonna be at the top of the page. I guess the moral of the story is just wear what you want. But it seems like kind of like the people that really don't know any better are the ones that are gonna go for, like right here, the Air Jordan MVP 92. See, by definition, this would be like a pair of Mexican mics right here, which of course we do know they're a play off the Jordan 7s, kind of like a low top version. But you guys see what's going on with these, bro. Ain't nobody that knows any better trying to buy these right here. Let's keep it rolling. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of crazy looking Jordans nowadays. But what I'm talking about is like back in the day when you used to walk into like a Foot Locker or Champs, the shoes that were sitting at the bottom of the shelf, you know, the joints that were always on sale. That's what we're talking about. So like these, Jordan 7, Jordan Max Aura. Bro, who came up with that title? You ain't got no aura if you rocking them joints right there. Those are wild. A bunch of Jordan 1s. There's the Spiz'ikes lows we were talking about earlier. The Lukas, the Tatums, Spiz'ikes lows. They even got Jordan cleats. See right here? The Jordan Flight Club 91, which we see is a play off the 6s, and rightfully so. Them joints are on sale, thankfully. So I guess the moral of the story is kind of like wear what you like. And we even got Jordans, which you could consider like a Team Jordan, or like some people would call these Mexican mics, that ain't even bad. Like look at the Jordan 4M, which is a play off the classic Jordan 4s. Some of these ain't bad. Like look, you got the fire red joints. And who would have thought a bread pair, which of course they ain't putting the bread RMs on sale. So these ain't bad. Moral of the story is wear what you like. But 2008, calling the 6 rings Mexican mics, nah. These were definitely valid back then, man. The image speaks for itself, bro. Y'all see how we was dressing back in the day? Kind of crazy, man. JATV, I appreciate everybody. Drop your feedback in the comment section. I'll be back with you guys for the latest updates. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out, y'all. Love. Stay safe, stay blessed.
Stay safe, stay blessed. Stay safe.